Hey guys, so Tara here, and I wanted to share with you one of the tips that I've been doing lately that is working so well for me, and it might not seem like it, but it's saving me a ton of time. So normally what I was doing in my power hour as I was planning my social media posts, I noticed that like half of my hour was going to planning social media. And I mean, I'm focused and I'm driven and I'm efficient and I'm not trying to spend a ton of time on things, but it was just simply eating up a lot of time. So I wanted to walk you through what I started doing, and it's made a huge impact. And it's hilarious because I'm spending less time. And what's awesome about that is I'm actually posting double what I was posting before, more than double. So I wanted to walk you through kind of my schedule, and you're so more than welcome to emulate it yourself. And don't forget, with any of this, make it your own, make it specific to your brand and to your business, okay? So I think, let me first start off is at 6 a.m. So I actually have from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., I have a post going up every 2 hours, and almost all of them, 90% of them, are scheduled. And it's really cool because like I sat down for like a little bit on a Friday afternoon. You guys know I normally nap. Instead, I watched like a TV show, some Fixer Upper, and I just got these done. And it was like bing, bang, boom. And then I'm scheduled out like beyond a week in advance. So let me show you what I do. So first off is a motivational quote. I've talked to you guys about this before, but it's so simple. Go to Google. And first of all, I have like a journal where I keep like quotes that come across my personal development, right? So when I sit down, I do like a bunch of these at once, these graphics. And I just find, I have all these quotes written down, or you might look for motivational quotes on Pinterest and just like pin them and save them in that folder, whatever method you do. So what I did then is I have a bunch of quotes, and then I think like, okay, what would be a good graphic for this quote? And I go and do a Google search for images. So if you type it and go to google.com. Actually, let me show you really fast. Maybe this video will be longer than I think, but I think it'd be really helpful. Let me just walk you through it. So I go to Google, and I might type in talking. You guys, one time I did this in front of my class, and I guess there wasn't a safety filter on, and it was like Harry Potter naked. It was so embarrassing. It was so funny, though. It was at school. Like, it wasn't one of my images. So I always laugh about that. But, I might find like a graphic like this or something. And you right click on it and you save it to your computer. Now really fast, don't forget that as you do these searches, you want to click on search tools, usage right, and you want to say labeled for reuse with modification, because the other ones you don't have permission to do. So I could take this graphic and right click on it and click save image as. Okay, and I've saved it to my computer and everything. Then I pop over to Canva and log in. And what's funny is Canva actually already has my designs saved. So I could just use this old design. So what I do is you go to uploads. I upload whatever image I did. So this was a talking one I did, right? So I click on talking. I might like position it. Then take an element, and I go and I find a square. And you're welcome to use this kind of format. I just ask that you use your own font that you've chosen. We've talked about branding training before. Pick your fonts and your colors and always use those. It'll save you so much time. I recommend don't use very bright colors like bright pink or bright purple or like bright blue, almost, I don't know if that's the right color. It can make it look kind of dated. A lot of contrast is good. Blacks are good. So anyway, if you need help on colors, just talk to me. Okay, so I fix this by going to the down arrow, and I actually adjust the transparency. And the reason why is that way your text is going to pop. Okay, and then I have my quote. So I typed this in, and I'm going to click. You can click back and make it go backwards. So there we go. So see how it's like that, and it went back. You can adjust what goes backwards and forwards. So I had this, you think of it as layers, right? And this text was one layer, right? So I was able to do that. You can go over here to text. So anyway, I was able to add my text. If you need help on this, Google on YouTube, there's a ton of stuff. And then when you're done, just click download and save. And then I can go in and I can type in my post, and then on the right-hand side here, click schedule. And I would also attach my photo, and then I would click schedule, and you can pick what date you have. So you can see right now I've got 39 scheduled posts. So let me show you like today's post. See that one up? That's my motivational quote. Let's look at yesterday at 6 a.m. should be back here. There we go. So here was, see how it's very similar in brand, and it gets to the place where people recognize you. And it's funny because Daphne, our upline coach, she was like, yeah, the other day I saw a color like yours that someone posted on like Facebook or something. And she's like, I immediately thought of you. You want people to start thinking of you. So come up with your images. Your text and your colors if you haven't already, and I highly recommend you run it past our team and just say like, hey, can I get some feedback? You guys know I won't hold back like my critiques on design stuff because I'm very picky about that. Okay, and just remember, you get better over time. If you haven't seen my early things that I did years ago, they are terrible. So it just takes practice, and I'm definitely nowhere near where I could be. Next up is I just earmarked 8 a.m. for my workout. I work out every morning at about 6 o'clock. And so I schedule I do my post after I work out, I take a photo, and as I'm drinking my recovery, oh my gosh, funny thing, you guys, my sports bra is totally on inside out. I was so tired yesterday. I thought you'd get a kick out of that. So anyway, my lighting is terrible in the morning. So I make it black and white. I use the app called Pick Tap Go. It's the best app. It's probably like $3.99. It's worth every penny because you can adjust your lighting, and I can make the ugliest photos lighting wise look really good. So I highly recommend it. Highly, highly, highly. And I do black and white for photos where there's not very good like resolution to the image, especially if lighting is bad, because it just makes it look better. So I always do this. I tend to do a black, I do this, I then I use on my phone, because I usually take my workout photo on my phone. I use Rhonna Designs, RHONNA Designs. And again, if you're making all these decisions in advance, it takes minutes to do this, like hardly any time. So I already know how to make it black and white. And then I take in Rhonna Designs, I add you can add a square graphic, and I adjust the transparency just like I did in Canva. And I just have this on the side, and then I have my quotes on there. And you might want to check out Rhonna Designs because they actually have like really good pairings of 2 different fonts that they suggest. There's a whole library. You'll see mine's the first one they have there. And you can pick your colors, and it saves your colors for you, and you'll always know exactly what your color is and what your font is. So all this took like 1 minute. And I post this workout photo. You'll see I post it in our Team Leaps and Bounds accountability group. I post it on my personal page, my like page, my Instagram account, any challenge groups that I have going on, I post it. You see this all over the place. So today's isn't up yet because I just schedule it for 8 o'clock so that an 8 o'clock is going. So, it should be up by now. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, there we go. So that was today's workout, and I have that already in there and set to go. So that's my workout. Next up is 10 a.m. and it's something related to whatever challenge group theme you have coming up. So it could be like, if it's Tuesday, it could be a Tuesday transformation photo of one of your challengers if you have permission, or you. Those are the best ones, but even you can get some from Beachbody. Just make sure it's not like super stuck photo looking, because people tend to just see those as advertisements. So let's go back to yesterday. Okay, so my theme is organization, like decluttering your life and kind of getting your house in order. So I have like grab and go snack stashes, or I have, I have like organizing games in your closet, like something that's related to your niche, which your challenge group should always be related to your niche in some way, but something like, engaging. And with every post, I pretty much always have like questions for people on stuff. I find that to be key. And just so you know, you guys, my traction isn't as great as it normally is. That's a good one. Let me see, like 66 people reached, because it takes a while to build Facebook's trust, right? For Facebook to see you're really engaged, it takes a while. So have some patience with yourself. Give it some time, because they're not going to give it to you right away. They're not going to give you that traction that you want. One tip I have is set up the notifications on your phone. I don't say this about Facebook, but about Facebook like pages. Get the like pages app on your phone. Set up instant notifications so that the second someone comments, you can immediately comment back. That will improve your traction on Facebook. Okay. All right. So I've done 10 a.m. That was the post that's somehow in some way related to my challenge group. Okay. You might share like a success, like a quote, like someone sent you a really cool message about the challenge group and you're so excited, something like that, something relating to whatever theme that you have. Okay. All right. Next up is 12 p.m. This one is not scheduled. It's just sort of in my head because it's a post of my daily life. Now, I might get to a point, sometimes I get so caught up in my life, I might start scheduling these, like pick a photo from the day before and schedule it. I'm leaning towards that just to give you guys a heads up. But an example, this isn't necessarily like my, I prefer to have my face or whatever, but I wanted to share like what our dinner looked like. Let me see if I have another photo on here that's recent. Probably not. Yeah, because that was the weekend. And I, again, like I said, my day gets ahead of me. Oh, okay. So we had like building workshop. So it's sometimes nice on a like page. I get that you don't want to have like a ton of personal stuff. No one really cares about photos of your dogs all the time. But putting in a little bit here and there makes them connect with you more and connect with your story. Okay. So that really, really helps as you just, add those in your daily life. And you don't have to have kids to have interesting daily life photos, okay? I don't post my kids all the time. And you don't have to have your kids in. You want that privacy. All right, next up, 2 p.m. is an engaging quote of At 2 p.m. is a Beachbody article. Now, if you go to Team Beachbody blog, you can find a whole bunch of articles. And what's really cool is that any link, if you add at the end of the link a question mark in your coach code, then if they go to that link and let's say they're surfing around there and they find a Shakeology link and they end up ordering, you get credit for that. So I always recommend just doing that. And there's some amazing articles, some great recipes. And so there's a ton to choose from. So I add those on there. And so that's my 2 p.m. And I like that. Then at 4 p.m., let's see, let me go to yesterday, 2 p.m. For some reason, my 4 p.m. isn't going up. I got to check on that. But 4 p.m. is like an engaging quote, something that's kind of asking a question, getting some feedback on something is a good thing. Like anything that gives people to give their advice and their opinions, people really like to do that. So therefore it increases your engagement. So, anything, and I recommend make it related to your niche. So I'm a stay-at-home mom. So a lot of my questions are about motherhood. And I think that makes a really powerful difference on things. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm trying to find one that is at 4 p.m., but I'm not seeing it. So anyway, that's odd. But if you check my page at 4 p.m., let's look at what 4 p.m. today is. Now I'm like kind of nervous. So anyway, let me move on to the next one while I'm looking at that. And the next one is a video. So your videos, let me check. No, I don't have a 4 p.m. So now I know, I got to schedule my 4 p.m. posts. Videos. You can click on Zoom. Get the app Zoom for your computer. I recommend doing it on your computer. And when you open up a Zoom, you can click record. And you do exactly what I'm doing to you right now, and I'm recording. And you can record any kind of message, motivational or a tip that you have or something. So I have different ones. Like I have, maybe an organization tip. I'm looking at what I have scheduled here. I have a tasty soup recipe. So sometimes I'll just pop up on my laptop, and as I'm cooking dinner, I'm talking to people and explaining to them what I'm doing. It's very casual. Or I talk like a tip for what do you do when you don't want to work out. Anytime any of your challengers has a question for you, that's a great opportunity to have a video. Or something they're struggling with, or something you're struggling with. Like anytime you can think of anything, pop on a camera and create a quick video for that. I save them to a folder in my computer. And so some of these videos, I'm just recycling through. I've used them before. But videos get great traction. I recommend that you upload them directly rather than using a YouTube link. Upload them directly. And I just save them. I save them to Dropbox. That way it's not hogging up computer space a lot of times. And I just have kickstart invite, soup, 22-minute hardcore meal plan. And I can easily kind of go through these and schedule them out. So you don't need to make a ton of videos a week. You can use that library as you slowly accumulate that. One tip is you're doing a free challenge, post a daily video to your challengers, save that video, and kind of talk in the video in mind that you're not just talking to your challengers. Save that video, save whatever tip you're sharing that day, and I usually make those tips relative to what's going on in my free group. And then save that to your computer, and then you can use those as your scheduled video posts. Again, this sounds like a lot of work, but I'm serious, you guys. So much of this is just woven into my business, or it's me sitting down for 40 minutes, planning 2 weeks worth of these posts, and I'm good and I'm covered, and I don't have to freak out about it, all the time. I recommend getting it all done at once. It'll save you a ton of time. Number 8 is my blog. So I go through and I post, every once in a while to my blog. And so I'm slowly just kind of rotating back through my archive of blog posts. And sharing those, right? So I'll share like different things and that's at 8 p.m. I do it at high traffic time because a lot of the times I'm sharing an announcement for a challenge group. So on usually Wednesdays and Sundays, that post that I'm sharing is about whatever's coming up. But share blog posts. If you haven't started a blog yet, I personally, that's how I grew my business. So you're going to hear me say, do a blog. You can easily write your story and your journey. And we have training on that. So if you need help, just let me know and I can get you access to that because it's just working for you at all times. Like if I take a couple of days off, I go into my inbox and I've got like all these registrations for a group. So it takes time. Melanie Mitchell didn't get her first sale from her blog until like 9 months into it. It takes some time, definitely. And I see that myself, but doing it helps. And getting traffic to it as often as you can helps. So I every day have something going to my blog. And at that same time that I'm scheduling that post, I'm repinning that blog to Pinterest as well so that it gets floating around there too. All right, the last one is at 10 p.m. and that is just something funny. So let's go back to my page. And what I do is I go to Pinterest and I just type in funny. And I just find funny quotes that are me. Or I like Harry Potter, so I might type in Harry Potter funny. Or anything related. I'm a nerd, so that's part of my niche. So anything related to that, I might type in, or organization funny, because organization is my thing. Or if your thing is dogs, then you can say like dogs funny, and you can find something funny. This was like someone trying to fold a fitted sheet. Now, clearly, this is kind of related to organizing the home. So I was kind of being intentional here, and this graphic's kind of hard to see, but I was asking who knows how to fold a fitted sheet. That got some great traction. And see, here's a video example. Is me so simple. It's me showing people how to take a Bath & Body Works candle and turn it into an home organization. So even my other posts, not just the 10 a.m., but the others, sometimes I like to connect them to whatever the theme is. I'm asking here what foods you find the most filling, and this was, again, a Beachbody post. I already showed you that one. Here's my workout photo, inspiration. Okay, so here's a funny one. Like when I get naked in the bathroom, the shower gets turned down. I love that. So I just post those because I think, people are getting ready for bed and they're just kind of looking online, and I just want to make them smile before they go to bed. So those are my examples of how you can really set this up and save yourself a lot of time. But if you have comments or tips on this or whatever, I really want to hear it. But I want to leave you with some last tips. First of all, don't use Beachbody stock images. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. Like, don't do it. I've never seen them work great. I see people do them. You usually see them the last week of the month. People get kind of desperate. They want to say the 21-day fix is on sale, and they plaster it up, and it doesn't work because people care about you and building that relationship with you and trusting you. They can get 21-day fix on eBay. They can get 21-day fix on Amazon. What they can't get is they can't get you. And you got to realize your value, and you got to show them your value by just sharing your daily life. And you do have value. And if you don't think you do, you got to do more personal development. But share you. Don't be afraid to share your face. Okay, those are the best ones. Share your journey and connect with them. And I heard a really good quote, and I don't remember the quote, but basically the gist of it was, make your Facebook post on your like page a conversation with people. So what I've been doing really great is what's been working great for me is if someone comments on a post, I will respond back, I'll tag them, but I'll also ask them a question. So it gets them coming back and commenting again, which will help with that relationship building, and it'll help with traction. That's not necessarily why I do it. I just want to build those relationships with people and make sure that they know I truly do care. So I hope those tips help you as you're setting up your social media for your business. But please share with me any tips that you have or any kinds of posts that work really, really well for you. I would love to hear it. Bye, everyone.